Okay, very good. Welcome everyone, and thank you for joining me for another day of Phoenix practice. Let's begin with right hand in fist, left hand straight, and pull back the thumb. Feet together, hands together, and we press forwards. Good, relax down please. We'll just have a little shake out, shaking out the hands, shaking out the feet, and then elbows and knees. Good, try shoulders and hips. Lift and release. On the other side. Quite difficult, that one, isn't it? Good, and little shake out. Lovely, lovely, lovely. All right, someone the other day was talking to me about getting knee replacements and knee exercises. And it occurred to me that most of us, when you ask someone to bend their knee, they do this. They bend their knees. And you'll see that there's no release in it. In fact, there's muscles kind of going and straining, and it can just put a lot of tension into a whole lot of different structures in the body. But actually in Tai Chi, we don't bend our knees. We spend our time with our knees in a bent position, but we do it by a series of releasing actions. So I thought I would do a little bit of practice of that with you today as part of our warm-up. So we'll reach our arms out to the sides, and we're going to borrow from the Yin Yang Qigong from Grandmaster Chen. We're going to turn our palms and breathe in and lift a heavy weight. Turn the palms, and as we breathe out, I want you to think of releasing in the belly, releasing in the hips, and releasing in the knees. Turn the palms and think of floating up through the top of the head as you breathe in. And again, turn, breathe, release belly, release hips, release knees. It's a very different feeling. Breathe in, float up, from just bending your knees. Again, think of softening, releasing belly, release hips, release knees. Turn palms and lift. Now, you've done this before with me, if you've been practicing for a while. We want to sit back, so the knees are not going beyond the tips of the toes. Breathing in, float up, and release. Soften belly, soften hips, release in the knees. Turn, breathe in, float up. Belly, hips, knees. Turn, float up. Belly, hips, knees. Turn, float up. Now, do it wrong. Just bend your knees. And come up. Do you see the difference? Do you feel the difference? Hopefully you do. Let's take the hands to the waist and we continue. Try to release belly, release hips, release knees. And float up like a cork. Breathing in, release belly, releasing the hips, releasing the knees. Good. And float up. Good. And release, relax down. Let's circle those shoulders. I would like you to practice that, please, over the next week. What I have discovered, I say discovered, you know, it's ancient wisdom, and yet it's just kind of dawning on me as I progress in my own practice, is every time we do a rotation in Tai Chi, it's an opportunity to release in the hip joint as we turn, and then we feed across wherever we're going, and as we turn, we release in the joint. We're not just turning, pivoting, we have that opportunity to give a little bit of a release in the movement. And by doing that, we allow the system to sync, we allow the muscles to work fluently and let the energy flow. So in a movement, say for example at the end of Lao Jia Yilu, we're continuously walking down a ladder so that we can go deep into a movement. But if you're just coming across and turning, you can't get down there. So this is a method for bending your knees, or rather I should say, a method for deepening your stance without straining your knees and actually letting your system release rather than tighten. How many times do you think, oh, I need to bend my knees, and it feels tight? So have a play with this as a practice, and also maybe if you're having to functionally bend your knees, you can do it with greater ease and comfort. Good, all right, shake up. Hopefully you felt that was quite warming as well. Let's do a little trot on the spot. And a shake out. Good. All right, let's do open door 5, a general circulation of energy, and then into our phoenix form. So feet shoulder width and level, and lengthen up through the very top of the head. The chin slightly down and back. Feel the tension pouring down. So it's the same release that we're looking for, a feeling of being suspended. Gravity drawing all the body directly down. Let's take a moment to calm down. And listen behind. Let's bring the awareness to the hands. Bring the awareness to the fingertips, gently pressing them down. Until you feel the energy zing. You'll notice without doing it, your arms will float a little bit away. As the energy field gets stronger. And now we begin. Let your breath flow. Massage the kidneys. Very good. So simple, and yet it goes very deep indeed. And this is a story that repeats again and again within Tai Chi. The more simple the practice, the deeper it goes. Of course, the concept is the complex moves that we do, we want to make simple as we practice them. So if everything moves together, it's simple. If things move one at a time, or you're having to concentrate on many things at the same time, that's not simple. If you can get everything, hands, arms, legs, moving together, simplicity comes through, and it goes deep as well. So there's always complexity within simple, there's always simplicity within complexity. Even doing open door 5, I don't know, did you notice the sensations within your body? Did you notice the energetic lines, the places where your hands would naturally stop? So the simple allows us to feel and connect with our bodies that bit deeper. Having said that, let's leave open door 5 and we'll look at our Phoenix form. Now I'm going to start this with my back to you, so we're all going to do the same thing. If you've been practicing this form on your own, maybe this will give you an opportunity to realize, do I know what my hands are doing or not? Try it, and then I'll flip and we'll do the front view. Okay, so we start towards the right-hand side. Heels together, toes apart. We lengthen up, chin slightly down and back, and come down. Pointing the fingers to the floor. And we begin, we scoop. And rest. Well done. How did you get on? Okay, good. All right, so let's look at it from the front view. As I say, if you're already familiar with the moves, it's time to start to try to get everything to move as one. So we don't step and move the arms or move the arms and step. We do the two together. So after your initial scoop, we want to step and turn. It's all too easy to get into the trap of, okay, I'm turning, oh, and I step. Now we want to get everything, arms and legs, going together. It's not so easy at first, and it's something that no matter what level you're at, we still have to work on, this feeling of unity of body, movement, breath, everything flowing as one. But the more we work at it and the more we let go into that feeling of everything moving as one, the more really enjoyable it becomes. It becomes a pleasure rather than, okay, I'm doing this for my health. It becomes, oh, just such a pleasure to do. You get this feeling of, oh, it's working, it's moving as one. So let's try it together. Don't worry if you don't feel that it is all coming together. I've been doing this for years now, and I feel I'm only starting to really get that smooth connection throughout. But it's an endless process. You'll continue to develop and become slicker and better with every practice. Through the weeks, through the years. Okay, are we ready? We lengthen up, over here, lengthen up, chin down and back, deep breath. Calming down. And begin. left side back, right side back, turn. Relax to center. And close. Beautiful, well done. And recover. Good. Have a little shake out, have a little moment. If you want to take a sip, now is your chance. I'm trying a liver cleanse at the moment, which means lemon water, first thing. And unlike normally, the Chinese would say always hot water, never cold water. But this particular liver cleanse, I'm using just room temperature water, as lemons have a lot of amazing things in them, and hot water kills some of those good things. You still get the flavor of the water. So for the liver cleanse, it's just room temperature water and the juice of a lemon. And then wait 20 minutes, half an hour before eating, and then no fats before 11 o'clock. So no butter, no milk, no eggs, bacon, cheese. So I'm trying it out. It's quite nice, actually. I noticed that my body did not want fats before breakfast, before 11. I was eating cheese and eating nuts, even avocados sometimes. My body just didn't want it. So this way, without fats, you can have carbs if you like, but no fats. It gives the liver a chance to really flush and cleanse. It's quite nice. So it doesn't have to be every day, but a few days a week. Yeah, I'd recommend it. I feel good for it. So anyway, back to this form. Tai Chi is a moving depiction, or is that the right way of describing it? A moving way of describing the yin-yang, or rather the yin-yang depicts Tai Chi. So we often call the yin-yang a Tai Chi picture. And you'll see people who practice Tai Chi often will sport a patch or some logo using the yin-yang. So if you think of that, the yin-yang is the embodiment of Tai Chi, which means it's two opposing forces constantly balancing each other. And how many times do you actually see the yin-yang being played out in its various ways? We've got this S shape that we're drawing. We're actually drawing the yin-yang with our bodies. We're drawing this circle with the S shape in the middle. Even open door 5, you're drawing the yin-yang on the horizontal, like this way. So you can see it underneath, up, in, over the top. There's the S shape. There's the roundness of the ball. Yin-yang comes again and again and again, both in the sort of concept and the actual movement, the actual shape of the yin-yang picture. There we were showing the horizontal, the vertical. Later on at the end of the form, we show it in the horizontal. There's the circle underneath. And now look, there's the circle and drawing in. We even have the dot of the yin-yang as we make a fist before we come forwards. And then we draw the yin-yang again. The vertical, then the horizontal. There's the circle. There's the dot. And turn. So it's there again and again. But more than just the yin-yang picture that we're describing in so many repetitions, in so many ways, we want to describe this idea of two opposing forces coming into balance. So that means every time we do a movement that we expand, we want then to have a movement that contracts. If we have something that is moving forwards, we have something that's moving back. So there's your opening. We're moving forwards, but we're also filling our back so that we have yin and yang. And there, if you see reverse rolling clouds, we have something moving back, but we have to have something moving forwards. So the hand and the front foot is still extending forwards. So that's a nice wee exercise that you can do. Once you feel, actually, I've got the form, I know the moves. Now what? Now how do I continue my development within the form? This is a way. So I want you to be aware of, maybe just pick one each time. Think of upness and downness. So while you're practicing, there's a bit more rise and fall in the Phoenix form than there is in, say, Yang style. There are moments where you will feel you're rising. Notice the moments where you are sinking and releasing, and use that release belly, hips, knees that we practiced in warm-up. Or you can notice that when you're turning to the left, there is something turning to the right. What would that be? Again, it's the back. If your front is turning to the left, your back is turning to the right because it's a ball turning like that. So you can keep in mind yin and yang and look at the different aspects of yin and yang. Any two opposing forces, so softness and strength, expanding and releasing, forwards and back, up and down. The sky's the limit. Pick one and use it in your practice. So I'll let you pick one and let's go again. I'm going to do another front view and then I'm going to flip and do a back view. Okay, are we ready? Check posture. Calming, releasing down. So you choose, what are you going to focus on? For me, I'm going to focus on upness and downness in this set. Ready? And Step back left. Step back right. Turn, turn. Right. Left. Well done. Recover and a heel tap. Good. So something we need to be careful about when we decide to concentrate on a particular aspect, we don't want to massively exaggerate that aspect, but rather to be more aware of that aspect. What it will do is it will amplify the energy, but it won't visibly hugely change the look of the form. So as a teacher, I've noticed that I have to be a bit careful about that. When I'm practicing a particular piece in front of students and I'm trying to emphasize a particular aspect, if I over egg it, if I do it too much, then it becomes a deviation, and that's not what we're wanting. We're not wanting to create a mistake. We're simply wanting to feel and acknowledge the flavor, if you like, of that particular thing. So if you're looking at upness and downness, do not overly go up and down, but rather feel the qualities of when the movement lifts, literally when a movement rises with the arms, how that feels, as opposed to when they're coming downwards. So you have movement, upward and downward movement, but you also have the upward and downward posture. So the top of the head continuously floating up, the rest of the body continuously releasing and relaxing down, creating this continuous sense of openness and space. This is also part of exploring upness and downness. Okay, of course, we can look at other things. Maybe this time I'll look at the feeling of the rotation and getting that feeling of not only my front rotating, but also my back, feeling the back turning as well. This is something that people often make the mistake in Tai Chi. They think they're turning, they just turn their fronts. That's what they're feeling. But Master Locke, if you remember, asks us to fill our backs. So as we're turning, it is a ball turning, front and back as a unit. So do it with me. This time I'm going to do back view and try. Now, if you're still just working on choreography, that's fine, just stick with that. But if you're looking for ways of developing your form, here it is, looking at particular aspects as you practice your form. Okay, are we ready? Lengthening up. Releasing, relaxing down. Press the fingers down. And begin. And good. Well done. Ease from your stance. Have a little shake out. See how you feel. Very good. Just want to mention something else, some odd thing that seems to happen sometimes when you practice Tai Chi. Sometimes time will fly by. It will just fly when you practice, and an hour will go in an instant, and you'll think, where did that hour go? Sometimes time seems to just stand still. I had to listen for the ticking of the clock there because it felt like no time had shifted at all for like a good 15 minutes. And that can happen as you go into different sort of levels and layers of mindfulness. Time can do some weird and wonderful things. So when you're focusing on different aspects, yeah, time can do funny things on you. So if you do have a time slot to practice, keep yourself a clock handy just in case. So that you don't, so you're not late for anything and you can just relax into your practice. Now, are there any questions? Is there anything coming up that you would like to ask or comment on? If not, we'll do it again. Yeah, okay, do it again. All right. Okay, remember you have to unmute yourself if you have questions. Was that a hand raise? No? No, I think it was a head scratch. Okay, all right, folks, one more time. So I would like you to pick a topic, and it can be just, okay, I want the flow. You can focus on flowing. If you are focusing on flow, it's a beautiful aspect of Tai Chi, but that does not mean that you just keep banging through the movements without stop. Often as people try to address flow, they speed up because they're not wanting to pause or stop. But that's not absolutely the way flow works. Think of it like sentences with commas and what are those, semicolons, as opposed to paragraphs where there's a full stop, a gap, and then start again. So even in these movements where we're striking a pose, we want to hold it, but just with a feeling of and then move on. So don't just go, oh yeah, I've done that, and next, and next, and next. We do want to demonstrate these beautiful positions when we're stretching there. Stretch into it, and then move on. So let's have a look. This time we'll focus on flow. All right, are we ready? I'll come as close as I can. Jack posture. Relax to center. Press the fingers down. Ready? Start. Well done. Good, easing from your stance. All right, so picking a topic, picking a theme is a really nice training practice, but it's not what we need to do every time. For example, you don't have to keep a catalogue in your mind. Oh, so I've practiced upness and downness, I've practiced, front and backness, I've practiced flow, so now I need to concentrate on all of those every time that I practice. No, it's a training exercise, and partly it's designed to keep your mind in the game, so to speak. Once you start to have an idea of what you're doing, it's easy to kind of let your mind wander a little bit, and I still do it sometimes. I find my mind thinking about what to teach next, or some random thing that's happening in my life when I should be concentrating on the Tai Chi. So picking a theme to practice on in a particular repetition will help to keep your mind in the game, in the process. And also it helps develop your awareness of particular aspects each time, but you don't have to keep those aspects bubbling every time you practice. The idea is what you practice, you create a capacity for. So even if you're not focusing on oneness movement all the time, if you practice it at one stage, your body will have some memory of that and will continue that on. So I hope you enjoyed that aspect. It's beautiful. It opens you up to endless possibilities in your training, and you can pick and choose, be a bit discerning about what you choose to do. So if you notice that your knees are hurting, you can practice with an eye to releasing belly, releasing hips, releasing knees. With each knee bend, you're not just bending your knees and doing this, but you're softening and you're releasing into it, and making sure that your alignment of your knees are correct, in line with your toes, that you're not getting this sort of swaying around. We want the lower half of the body to be very earthed, very heavy and planted. So if you change your feet, you change them with deliberate direction, but the legs don't wobble around. You're turning in your egg cup, so to speak, and within your hips, you're turning your waist, sitting back. So from the hips down, the legs are just your stabilizers, your foundation. Don't let them wobble around. Okay, one last time, everyone, please. And this time I would like you to focus on the joy of the feel of the movement. As we often say, you practice a form minimum 3 times, first for your mind, your memory, the second time for your body, good practice, the third time for your spirit, just for the joy of practicing. So yes, by all means, be as technical as you like, but I want this time for you to let rip and dance your way through it, for want of a better expression. Enjoy the feel of your body, strong and fluid, with your mind at the helm. All right, are we ready? Check posture. Relax to center. Ready? And Very well done. Folks, so hopefully today you got that feeling that you can do the same form, and just like a person can have many moods and many sides, so can a form. You can express it in very different ways in order to focus on different aspects. But remember, never exaggerate a movement, rather feel into it, connect with it. And that way you are being true to the form while still expressing it in a different way. Folks, I really hope you have enjoyed today's class. Let's finish just briefly turning and patting. Let's just give the whole body a little bit of care. Down you go. Any part that you felt was working, give it a bit of attention now, and coming up the body again. Over the shoulders, up the back, and back down. Good. And shaking out. Have a practice, please, with our knee exercises of release, release, release. See if it makes a difference for you. Little heel tap, please. By Bing Xiao, 100 ailments go away and rest. Feel that beautiful energy bubbling away. Very good. Let's bring the hands to center, guiding your energy back into your center. Hug your elbows in. Let your awareness, your breath, all release down into the belly. Feel your energy is stronger. Beautiful, well done. Release, relax down. And let's salute everyone, please. Thank you very much. 学生好. You can say 老师好. Thank you, and look forward to seeing you next time.